Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We will start the ceremony in approximately 5 minutes. We ask that you all please be seated. And everyone in the house this evening right now, will you be so kind as to turn off your cell phones? Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn off your cell phones. If you have your cell phones on, please turn them off. Okay, you're up here next to me. Yeah, right there. Yeah, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the procession of the class of 2013. Please remain standing for the presentation of the colors and our national anthems. Please be seated. Mrs. Brown, Dr. Lutry, Mr. Caldwell, Mr. Thompson, Mr. Johnson, honored guests, parents, and family members. Good evening and welcome to the Kadena High School graduation ceremony for the class of 2013. Thank you for joining us this evening. Seniors, this is an evening that for many of you have been waiting for a very long time. Beginning with your graduation tonight, you will be embarking upon many new journeys and adventures. Many of you are going to be going in many different directions. But no matter where your journey in life may lead, you will mostly never forget your high school experience. There are 158 graduating seniors, 96% graduation rate. One student has received an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy. Two class members have been offered ROTC scholarships. And a group that's very special to my heart, 13% of the graduating class will be serving amongst America's heroes in the United States military. Thirteen students have opted to join the United States Air Force. Five will join the United States Marine Corps. Two will serve in the U.S. Navy. And one in the United States Army. 61% of the graduating class will attend college or a university. %18 have chosen to attend a community college, technical school, or vocational school. 4% will enter the workforce, and 4% have other plans. No, I do not know what those plans are. From all the faculty and staff at Kadena High School, congratulations and best wishes to all.
Miss Singleton, the Chinese teacher is at Kadena High School and once an elementary teacher. She travels extensively around the world and is loved by all her students.
Thank you. So I'd like to say before I begin that my speech is certainly not the most important part about today. To all the teachers and family and friends, everybody that supported you along the way, congratulations to you guys as well. You've worked hard for this. And because this is such a special occasion, I just want you guys to all take your phones and make sure that they're turned on, because we're going to do what I know you really want to do, and that's tweet this moment. So just a moment. Okay, hang on just a sec. I just got a Instagram, Twitter, hashtag best speech ever. Okay. All right, we're good to go. All right, you can turn them off again. Who am I kidding? You're not turning them off. All right. Okay. So I do have some advice that I'm hoping is going to be worth your time. I guess we'll find out here a bit shortly. Soon you can leave the auditorium, take pictures with your friends and family under banyan trees, proudly display your cap and gown, dangle that tassel, you did it. Maybe you'll attend a party and go to bed way too late. I do have a few big ideas to share with you that roll around like boulders in my mind. Some have lost their sharp edges and are pretty smooth and simple. This is important. I know why I do what I do, and I love doing it. I'm also very clear about how I proceed through each wonderful and challenging moment. For me, personal growth and improving my practices have influenced what I've come to do and how I go about doing it. I actually love learning and confronting my own perception, turning ideas inside out and upside down. In order to experience life completely, I do things to create options and opportunities. I choose to burn myself up in the process by engaging intensely and by detaching myself significantly from any specific outcome or result. When I put my feet on the ground each morning, I'm thrilled. I get to spend the day doing what I enjoy. I desperately want you to be able to say the same. My greatest efforts are spent in ways I will never perfect. My career includes teaching and learning, a relentless quest to improve my Chinese, and yes, to teach it to others too. It doesn't really matter what you choose to pursue. I plead with you to get really clear about why you do it. Define and refine what matters most to you. Is it karaoke? Maybe it's crocheting. Are you dying to invent a new kind of chapstick? I don't care what it is. And people around you really don't either. Your parents might have some specific expectations, and you might have given yourself some strict marching orders. Maybe you're determined to earn 80 G's a year, and you're positive you'll work as a graphic artist. And your two-story home won't be far from Grandma's house, just outside of Charlotte. But now, yes, now is the ideal time to give yourself freedom to find out what you really love, what you can't live without, to refine your why. You have a unique moment at this time in your life, and seriously, I encourage you to differentiate between experiences and emotions. Understand those that are fleeting and those that are lasting. They both have a place. This is a moment, a space, before you have the responsibility of mortgages and complicated tax returns, when 2 a.m. runs to the convenience store are not for more root beer, but for baby Tylenol and milk. There will be times when addictions and distractions threaten what is most dear in your lives. How we respond is guided by our deep whys, our unwavering truths that anchor our souls. When we are clear about whys, the whats and the hows will follow almost naturally. Don't be seduced by what you do or even how you do it without a clear why. With a fuzzy why, you'll bounce and spin like a yo-yo, which you got to admit is a zany kind of fun for a bit, but it gets old after a while. What we will do and how we move through our practices are both the tantalizing and creative expressions of why. Trust me, various titles and ranks and labels we gather mean less than why we obtain them anyway. What we do and even how we act often changes. We adapt. However, our whys are timeless. They matter most. Without them, we won't experience the agitation, the tension, the challenges and joys that make life worth living. Ignore them, undermine their importance, and we're consumed by meaningless turmoil. When your actions, what you do, are aligned with what you believe, your why, you get to explore the importance of what you have to learn. How you choose to approach, respond, or even think about things can often determine the quality of options available to you. What we choose to explore is secondary to why. Please provide yourself with space and time and freedom to discover and experiment. What does matter to you? Nail why you do what you do. In this way, you're free to lose yourself in the process of creating, improving, and refining whatever your practice is. Opportunities await you. Know why something is important, decide what you will do about it, and intensely practice how you relate and interact with the world. Our whys differ, and that's okay. Whether your friends or your family share your enthusiasm or your priorities or not, matters less than why you're doing what you are. It's your why. It's crucial you understand your thinking. Perceive the process as an exploration rather than an exclamation. Continually probe, why does this matter? And what am I doing to experience this in a meaningful way? When answers are in harmony, the fun begins. How can I improve and create excellence in my chosen field, in my relationships, and even in my daily interactions? You can detach from the outcome, free yourself to take important risks, explore deeper, and participate in more recreation, literally recreating yourself. This freedom we often identify as the pursuit of happiness. It sounds like a promise, a gift, a guarantee of a basic right. You're bound to find happiness if you just relentlessly pursue it. Be careful. You may spend a lifetime of misery living the one that pursues happiness. I think this concept, the quest for happiness, is overrated, or at least misunderstood. I think I can help you avoid a lot of pain and heartache with my suggestion. Ready? Okay, here it is. Stop the pursuit. I don't think that happiness is impossible to find, but I just don't think it's something to be pursued. You see, the very notion of a pursuit suggests that happiness is something that can actually be obtained and trapped and captured and acquired. It conveys the illusion that if you can just secure that position in that school or that job or the title or relationship, then you will be happy. Clouded thinking suggests that the pursuit has a finishing point. Pursuits usually do. An ending place is assumed. The myth goes, you can finish the chase. Just work harder and longer and do better, and you can finally get happiness and you can finally rest. You see, if you live a life of pursuing, of seeking something outside of yourself, you've sealed a fate that promises more suffering. The problem with pursuits of happiness is that you'll never be satisfied, because the very process of a pursuit means that there's little room for contentment and peace with your actual and present situation. You can aspire, be ambitious, and plan for the future while appreciating your reality. But the crux of it lies not in a pursuit of something else, but rather a cultivation of aspects within you. Develop elements of an intrinsic nature, a part of what we humans share, perhaps the only process worthy of pursuit. In other words, we have the ability to be happy now by actually cultivating and expanding a potential that lies within us. Develop yourself personally, nurture relationships, and help others. See those that have less and need your kindness. Mold, discipline, and focus your abilities and talents from the inside. Connect wholeheartedly, engage passionately with others. Align what your hands do with the why in your heart. When your why is clear, distractions don't prevent you from enjoying what you've already decided is most important and deeply cherished. However focused you may be, however solid your whys are, Don't get me wrong, I think it's okay to take flights of fancy and entertain divergent interests. I think it's okay to allow tangents and side trails to vie for our attention. In this way, we gain wealth, a textured variety of experiences that hold untold and unexpected value. For me, a giant why that has determined what I do is my passion for learning. Considering alternative perspectives and challenging my own core concepts. An important why for me is exploring the person that I am. I'll admit, I'm pretty careful when it comes to what I spend my time doing. I choose what I want to be amused or moved by. I decide what challenges I'll accept and what pain I'll endure. The company I keep matters. Life is short, and I am crazy serious about how much I laugh, and most often it's at myself. Happiness for me is being engaged in things that are interesting and fun and challenging and invigorating. I won't settle for less. I enjoy this life way too much. What I do and how I do it are also meaningful. No, I don't have it all figured out, but I certainly do enjoy the struggle to remain receptive. And I know I'm not the only one who sees the importance and challenge of trying to have your core remain open, to be fluid, and allow change in your belief systems. My girl, Eleanor Roosevelt, said, "If you can develop this ability to see what you look at, to understand its meaning, to readjust your knowledge to this new information, you can continue to learn and grow as long as you live and have a wonderful time doing it." I'm also really clear about living a life of wonderful times, as she put it. Some say that you can only really talk about what you know or what you've experienced, and I think it might help if I shared a little more about myself, tell you a couple of short stories that have shaped who I am and what I mean when I say why, what, and how matters. I love to learn, which is why I teach. I've always loved school. My parents were teachers. We had an old chalkboard in the basement of our house where I used to teach children in our neighborhood their numbers and colors. For 2 summers, I recruited kids around the block to come and give me a few bucks and learn about mammals and healthy snacks and how to make friends and play nicely in our sandbox. And I'm not lying when I tell you that I would secretly retrieve extra copies of discarded assignments from my teachers' waste baskets just to use to play school. And that's right, you know I'm a real geek when I tell you that what I really wanted most was the spiral-bound blue teacher plan book with one of those sleek, the metal plastic, or the metal containers for the chalk, you know. I earned enough money to buy my school clothes each September. I learned how to efficiently manage a preschool when I was barely out of elementary school myself. I learned to advertise, organize, recruit, plan, teach, charge, sing, and laugh with young students interested, like me, in learning more about the world and ourselves. And I guess I haven't strayed too far from those days. When I was 14, I had to grow up very quickly. My parents' divorce left me to face many decisions and consequences on my own. I needed to form rules for myself, as no one else would. I had to establish what I would do to continue providing opportunities for myself. I was also very clear about my why. I cherish freedom and choices. Destiny would be my creation. I began what would be a lifelong practice of making rules for my own conduct. I knew that I would make my own decisions, and I would also benefit or struggle as a result of my actions. So these were my real rules. For example, I could only go out with friends if my homework was completed to my own standards. Or I could only party on weekends if I was on the dean's list of academic excellence. Although, or because, I followed my own strict code of conduct, I granted myself complete freedom to do whatever I loved. I got really clear about why. As a result, I've traveled the globe, have countless stories to tell, a handful of degrees, but most importantly, I love what I do every day and in many ways. I've always done well in school, most teachers do, but after a year of college, I decided I need to see more of the world. Unlike many of you students with loads of travel experiences under your belt, I had never left the country. I craved the thrill of opening my mind in fresh ways. I quit college in order to travel. My parents had always encouraged me to be independent, create my own opportunities, and keep asking questions and seek multiple answers. I'm still surprised that they were the ones shocked when I told them I would be trading my textbooks for a backpack. I worked my tail off, cleaning houses and waiting tables. I saved all my coins, thinking that my friends were doing the same. They weren't. I stood facing a critical decision. My why didn't change, but my how suddenly did. I was so clear about what I valued, I was willing to do it alone. I sold my car, bought a backpack, and bummed around down under for 2 years. I was 19 years old. One of the most valuable discoveries during my solo backpacking spree was that I enjoy my own company. I'd rather be with myself than with the wrong people. To this day, I do not compromise my integrity or interest because of what others think I should do, or for the sake of comfort or the sense of security that comes with being with others. I decided then that I would not be in relationships, programs, jobs, or pursuits that were draining, negative, abusive, or life-sucking in any way. This solo journey allowed me a distance to cultivate a deeper understanding of me, liberating me to follow interests and instincts. My curiosity called me to sail a yacht down the coast of Australia, tramp through extraterrestrial hills of Tasmania, and politely decline monkey brain soup in southern China. At least I think I declined it. Yeah, no, I'm totally sure I did. I think I did. Anyway, after a couple of years without any more money and expired visas and a few kinky dreadlocks and some random inexplicable scars and tales completely inappropriate to mention here, I ended up in China, but that's, again, another story. But I did notice in China that despite not understanding anything, I laughed and smiled so much my face hurt. Returning to Utah, I began studying Chinese 101 at the U of U. I thought I might like it. Turns out I did. One class led to another, and years later, I was handed 2 degrees in Asian Studies and Mandarin Chinese, not because I sought a promising career in Asia's new century, but because I enjoyed the challenge of what I was learning. Speaking Chinese feels like hearing my heart sing. It challenges every aspect of sound and memory and logic and thought. 你知道吗？如果你听一点，你就会觉得你心里一定会跳下来，跳下去。你听得懂吗？ I study Chinese because I want to. It is fun. Of course, it's not easy. I mean, after all, it is Chinese. But because the things we often value most are the things we spend the most effort on, my advice is be so clear about why you're doing something, because what you do about it will, at times, be mundane and tedious, inefficient, and downright maddening. What you do will test what you really believe and how strong you actually are. What you do is the expression of why you do it. So after graduating with degrees in Chinese and years of travel and completion of rigorous academic programs, I wondered, what was next? You see, I never did things solely for what I thought they would provide, unless I saw value in the process and they made sense with my why. I remember one day sitting in the kitchen visiting with my sister-in-law, an elementary school speech therapist. She gushed about how jealous she was of me of all the travels and tales that I had, while she happily built a stable career living in a small town. At one point, she nonchalantly reached in her pocket and dumped out a few Mr. Potato Head parts on the counter, dismissing them as her work tools that had inadvertently made their way home. As I stared at Mr. Potato's cunning derby hat, I literally was overwhelmed by emotion. With my degree in Mandarin and my other family connections, I could have been in Hong Kong or Beijing in a second, working my way up corporate ladders. But the truth of the matter was, that notion didn't overwhelm me. It didn't bring me to tears, the way I felt staring at Mr. Potato's bulbous nose and pudgy little ears. The reality was, at the end of the day, I wanted Mr. Potato Head parts in my pockets. I couldn't pursue a life of chasing someone else's notion of success. I set grand ambitions aside, choosing to spend more of my time learning to help others learn. I had to return back to school again to get necessary qualifications to teach, realizing what literally was my childhood dream. So maybe teaching isn't your dream, but leaving school is. Now you can. You've passed one of life's great tests, high school. Congratulations. Yeah, no kidding. So on behalf of the high school community, I'd like to offer a few apologies and confessions. You're finally graduating from an institution that aims to equip you and prepare you for the real world, for your future. And just to let you know, you're no more equipped to survive than whatever the real world is than the rest of us. Sorry. Because bells and hall passes don't determine what I do. No, wait, they do determine what I do. But I certainly don't rely on contrived software such as GradeSpeed to know how I'm actually performing. I'm incessantly evaluating and adjusting my teaching and learning strategies. I know what I do well. I know what I need to improve. I've also sat through trainings that don't consider my individual experience, needs, or interests. In some ways, our institutional processes are outdated, unresponsive, and far from the demands and complex issues your generation faces. It's a good thing that school is not the only factor that has influenced your preparation for this moment. You've had an important part in that process, too. Even through school, what matters most was how you threw yourself into your work, how you respectfully negotiated through challenges, and how you set standards for yourself to reach. Guess what? You're out of school now, and those things matter still. There are elements of the school experience that have prepared you for systems in our society, and as I hope you know, having skills and abilities make you marketable. They provide you with choice and options. This is true freedom. With this diploma, you will have certain options others without one won't have. And in some ways, it's evidence of your endurance, your stamina. Guess what? That's also pretty valuable. Regardless of whether or not you always understand relevance, regardless of your interests or passions, simply hanging in there and jumping through hoops is a skill that does have value today. Ask anyone with an advanced degree or a stripe or medal on their uniform if they've completed tasks and courses that have little to do with. And if you're truly clear about why you're doing what you're doing, you'll be able to surpass pain and even disillusionment. It's simply worth it. Complete courses, get advanced certifications, finish that next level, struggle to and dominate your next degree. One thing we old teachers do know is that you face an incredibly complex future, integrated in more competitive ways than ever before. Refine your willingness to learn, experiment, and work with others. You've done that here. Don't stop doing it. How you do whatever it is you do really is important. This is an expression of your character, your soul. It actually doesn't matter if you pass or succeed or even make your goals. I know. Aim to excel and engage intensely with what matters to you, but let your inner fire propel you forward and compel you to act. As you sit here tonight in your moment of glory, it may be a little odd to hear me say that this, yes, even this special milestone, this important and meaningful occasion, really doesn't mean much. How you did what you did means more. How you pushed, how you avoided, what you did learn and what you didn't. Tonight will change little about you, but how you move forward will. When why is firm, the how does matter, but the result does not. In other words, I think focusing on results is another myth of happiness and wisdom. If you pour yourself into all of your actions, allow your whys to be evident and sincere, it doesn't matter what the result is. When eventually graduating with my teaching certificate, the program director shook my hand and told me, "Congratulations, you're ready to learn how to teach." What? I'm not there yet, so I'm yeah, thanks. I'm like, what? Are you kidding? Years of education, student teaching, coursework, requirements completed, and I'm going to start to learn how to teach? Yep. These diplomas and degrees are kind of like getting a driver's license. When you get your license and practice driving, improving your reflexes and anticipations, then is really when you gain the skills that good drivers have. I hope you don't think that a new license is some kind of statement of your experience and abilities. This is the essence of education, a process that will continue. It doesn't end tonight. It's a practice of playing with one question to be followed by others. Does your scrolled diploma represent what you know, what you've done, or what you can survive? I think it's a license to begin to learn, to practice, and more freedom to determine why you will do what you will do. So good luck with your new strategies of learning, but be sure how you do it also greatly matters. Burn yourself in the process of refining why. How you do it is also important, and practice with intensity and passion. Detach from an expected result. It actually won't matter if you get accepted, win, or break that record or not. Encouraging us to excellence, my old gymnastics coach used to tell us, you will perform how you practice. You can't wait until later to do it better. Take risks, apply, dare, audition, explore, interview, test, advertise, attach your resume, but don't attach yourself to the results. Try to be better than you think you can. Yes, especially without regard to the outcome. This way you get to be friends with failure and struggle and rejection and injustice and frustration. I know, right? That's the good news. You know why? Because how you practice is linked to whom you are, not the results of your efforts. How you practice when you consistently strive for excellence contributes to what you have to offer the world and what we can all share. How you revise and rethink and write and create. How you empathize with others. How you wait. How you handle anger or disappointment. How you apologize. How you listen. How you pass a stranger. It does matter. These efforts are within your control. The results of your interactions, you may never know, but be clear about your why. Do what you do because it's a match with it. It's your best work, and because you know it makes the world a better place. Then, let it go. Whatever, oh wow. Did you think I was finished or do you? Okay, I'm still going. I'm almost done here. Whether or not the response, the offer, the bid, or the acceptance letter works in your favor does not matter. Why not? Because you're clear about why you do things. Then you expend everything inside you, reaching to enjoy, absorb, and share what it is, because it's important to you. It's a paradox, I know. It shouldn't seem to make sense, but it does. Give yourself completely doing what you love, and it doesn't matter what you achieve. It doesn't matter what's left of you. Don't make the mistake of sacrificing your integrity for whatever you think is worth it. This balance is one of both energy and release. Tension to excel pushes us forward, just to do more than just breathe. It thrusts us into life. I hope you crave the rush of how, like I do. Every moment counts, every choice, each interaction fills each breath you take until you stop. Finally, that's why you're really applauding. Please hear this. What you are doing or even why you're doing it is not important if compassion and respect for others has no place in your how. Be not so quick, so selfish, or so driven that you don't really see others around you. Allow yourself to see the struggle others face and find that soft place that is open and share it. I dare you to interact with people in genuine and meaningful ways, even if it's in a brief exchange in the post office or in line at the commissary. We have the right to life, but without compassion, the express practice of empathy and engagement with others, we're on an endless treadmill. And compassion, I believe, has the ability to transform and improve our experience here, perhaps more than anything else. Cultivate this virtue, live this gentle moral expression, and just try not to feel happiness around you. I won't wish you success, as we often label it. I will encourage you to expand your instincts to love and heal and tell stories and give. Our world today desperately needs those with moral courage, lifting others up. Please be kind and humane. Hold what you think you know loosely. There's so much to be discovered and more of you to be explored. Free yourself from rigidity.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Singleton. Yay, class 2013. My babies are graduating. We made it. We've grown together, and parting is such sweet sorrow. I'm proud of you all and sad to see you go, because now there will be no intervention against the future of our United States Armed Forces. Criteria to receive this honor: the graduate will have to either enlist, receive an ROT scholarship, or receive an appointment to any of our military academies, and will have the highest grade point average among those choosing immediate service. This year's military honor graduate was the longest-standing Kadena Junior ROTC Group Commander. I've also had the honor in the last 3 years of watching her flirt with the Air Force Academy and later defect to her #1 choice of the Naval Academy. So now it is my pleasure to present Chanel Cassidy Dominguez Barcenas.
Okay, let me put my glasses on first. Can't see anything. Oh. Okay. All right, oh, wow, that's better. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, teachers and administrators, and my fellow classmates. Tonight we are celebrating a huge milestone we will each remember for the rest of our lives. We are Kadena High School's graduating class of 2013. Honestly, writing this speech has been really hard. When I first sat down to write, I had absolutely no idea how to start, what to say, or what to even talk about in general. What I mean is, how could I fit 4 memorable years into one short and meaningful speech? I was definitely freaking out. So like any other high school student would do, I turned to Google for a little help. But most of the results I came across all seemed to have a common topic. What was the most important thing you learned in high school? And after hours and hours of thinking, I finally realized what these past 4 years have taught me. It is that change is inevitable. The entire high school experience alone is a giant change in itself. Looking at my peers right now, I bet that none of us thought we would be where we are today. Friendships have faded, goals are different, relationships grew, and so many other things have happened that we never thought would. But if it weren't for those experiences, both good and bad, we wouldn't have been able to grow and mature into such amazing young men and women. Now, it wouldn't be a proper graduation speech without at least one corny cliche, right? Just kidding. But seriously, there are many things we were told in high school when we were growing up. The most common cliche we all have heard, however, is that high school will be the best time of your life. As fitting as that might seem right now, have these past years really defined our entire being already? No. We have so much more in store for us. If anything, it has given us some of the best memories we will ever have together. From winning class competitions, to planning prom, to many Far East accomplishments, all the way to celebrating senior week together, it is these moments that we will look back on later in life and realize how much has changed.
Her humility keeps her from claiming that she will invent the first nursing bot, but I'm here to say, I'm calling it here and now, that Aki Medhurst will create the first nursing robot. Aki Medhurst.
Thank you, Ms. Huss. First of all, I would like to say thank you to my family, Mama, Daddy, and my brothers, Jonathan and Benjamin. You guys have supported me and loved me unconditionally. You have disciplined and guided me, and I can never repay you enough for that. I love all of you guys. Yay. As Winston Churchill once said, success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Success is not final. There is always going to be another obstacle to face. We are about to successfully graduate from high school, but what's next? For some of us, it is college. For others, it is a vocation. And a few of us are taking a year off to decide what our next step is. But this is only the beginning of a lifetime of opportunities for the class of 2013. Failure is not fatal. Life is not always going to go as planned, but everything happens for a reason. When we fall, we can always get back up, and from that we grow stronger. It is the courage to continue that counts. I don't know what is going to happen in our futures, and I don't really know what I want to do in life, but I do know this. God has a purpose for all of our lives, and our family, our faith, and our friends will be there to support us through all challenges and decisions that cross our paths. All we must have is the courage to press on. Each of us are gifted with a unique talent and affect others in ways we don't even know. So go out into the world and make a difference, class of 2013. As Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. The end.
Okay, this is getting harder. Okay. All right. our valedictorian, sorry, came to us this year, and throughout this year, she has proved to be articulate and insightful beyond her years. Sorry. I'm sorry. She's actually received so many scholarships that during her first year of school, she will actually be making more money than I do next year. She's received a full ride to the inaugural class of NYU Shanghai, and it goes without saying that she's highly motivated, energetic, and charismatic. I'm proud to introduce you, Roxanne Roman.
Hi. Konbanwa. Thank you all for being here tonight. This is an honor, and this is for you, Mom and Dad. Okay. Okay, sorry. Okay. Kadena High School, class of 2013. Can you believe that our moment is here? Many of us adopted KDHS in our second, third, or maybe even like me, in our fourth year of high school. But regardless of where we were as freshmen, sophomores, or juniors, tonight we are here in Okinawa as seniors for the very last time. Together on this stage, we share our greatest accomplishments so far with our friends, our families, and each other. So this is truly our moment. It may be brief, but it is worth 4 years of English, fighting underclassmen for parking spots in A and B lot, sleepless nights, stressful tests, and Lawton's government packets. I know, right? Okay. Walking across the stage is a summation of a lifetime of work. 13 years of blood, sweat, and tears to walk across this stage, shake Mr. Gibson's hand, and receive a fake diploma. Just like. But I think I speak for all of us when I say that after getting through an AP class, bringing home banners and medals from Far East, pulling off a senior prank, and of course, stage diving at prom, it was worth it. So, what happens next, graduates? In this fleeting moment, we rule the world. But in perspective, we are only a fraction of the other seniors on the planet. When we wake up tomorrow and we are facing an uncertain future, how can we keep our moment alive? Well, first, we must be extraordinary, which I can best explain in the words of Jim Butcher. You don't have to run faster than the bear to get away. You just have to run faster than the guy next to you. It's true. For us, this means we must be more than the average person. And quite frankly, the average person is not that hard to beat. If you vote, which you guys will, you will be extraordinary. So vote, it's that easy. Be extraordinary by applying yourself to the world as an informed, conscious, and conscientious participator. Do not be indifferent or ignorant of the world we live in and its problems. Choose to be an innovative problem solver and seek compromise and positive resolutions in conflict. Run faster than the guy next to you, class of 2013. Although, I'm not worried since we dominated Far East cross country and track this year. Yeah. Second, we must take advantage of every opportunity that comes before us and learn from both the positive and negative experiences we encounter. Learn to accept what is and what was so we can keep moving towards what will be. Don't be afraid to experience the world, as Sarah Kay says. This world is made out of sugar. It can crumble so easily, but don't be afraid to stick your tongue out and taste it. Third, and most importantly, we must want to end every day a better person than we were when we woke up. To do this, set goals and sincerely strive to achieve them. This means prioritizing, focusing, and committing to self-improvement. Ask yourself, what have I done today to help achieve my goals? And you should have either A, learned something new, B, done your best work to your full ability, C, committed a random act of kindness, D, tried a new activity, or E, made a new friend. If you have accomplished F, none of the above, then you need to reevaluate. Every day that you don't work towards self-improvement is spent towards becoming complacent and ordinary. Instead of moving forward, you have wasted your potential. Ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah. Like, if you want to achieve a full, happy life, discipline yourself to work for that completeness and happiness. Now, if you should accomplish one of the tasks above each day, then you will have sought knowledge your entire life. Desire to achieve more and become more will make all the difference as we go forth. It will keep our moment alive. Congratulations, class of 2013. The world awaits, and oh, the places you'll go. Thank you.
Before we begin passing out diplomas, I would like everyone to please acknowledge our Kadena High School JROTC Color Guard, and last but not least, Mr. Black and his senior choir. We will begin awarding diplomas. We would like to invite Mrs. Brown, the senior civilian leader, and Mr. Michael Thompson, our Okinawa District Superintendent, to join us on the stage to congratulate the seniors. Assisting me will be Dr. Dave Thies and Dr. Susan Paul, Kadena High School Assistant Principals, Miss Michelle Singleton, Miss Amy Huss, Senior Counselor, Miss Joyce Lowry, and Master Sergeant Alvin Shepard. Seniors, prepare to receive your diploma.
Before we begin, I ask that you adhere to certain decorum and respect for all. Each and every student that crosses the stage has a right for their name to be heard, and every parent has a right to hear their student's name called. I ask that you keep your applause short so all students and parents can hear their names. I thank you in advance for your courtesy and respect for all our students. Anna Adams. Alex Alstrom. Erica Albrecht. De'Aaron Alexander. Josh Allison. Kristen Anderson. Caitlin Austin.
Deshad Bailey. Jessica Ball. Alicia Barcinis. Aiko Bedford. Madison Noel Wansong Beecher. Megan Elizabeth Jolon Beecher. Julius Bembo. Alexandria Black. Garland Black.
Michaela Danielle Black.
Eliza Bolding. Gregory Borgert. Alina Bowling. Bria Boyd. Tyron Boylan. Alisa Burchill.
Deja Caldwell. Chris Carlson. Andre Chilton. James Clark. Edward Cordasco. Jacob Cody. Darian Cox. Nicole Cox. Bobby Cox. Jalen Creer Amos. Matt Dalton. Alex Daniels. Armina Diang. Malachi Diaz. Sean Dyer.
Charles Ellison. Brianna Englehart. Jasmine Ensworth. Zachary Fanton. Jordan Foster. Camilla Freeman. Leatata Leotaniva Fuamono.
Joshua Garrick. Simeon Gillespie. Corey Green. Drew Greenfield. Alexis Grimm. Carlos Gutierrez. Stephen Guyton. Holly Harden. Autumn Henderson. Joseph Herman. David Hernandez. Amber Hess. Cale Holt. Tiana Howard. William Howard.
Justin Jacobs. Alexian Jennings. Terrell Johnson. Anthony Jones. Chelsea Jones. Kyle Jones. Taj Jones. Alexis Kane. Amaya King. Kiara Klein. Ryan Kraft. Logan Craigness.
Nichelle Lankus. Maya Larson. Tamara Lash. Joseph Laville. Karis Lawrence. Cassidy Lawrence. Zachary Lewis. Patricia Lindsay. Janae Lynch.
Eric Ma. Emily Marks. Victor Marks. Samantha Martin. Jenna Martinez. Joseph Parker McFarland. Xavier McFarland. Yashar McGee. Catherine McKinnon. Angela McNatt. Kyle Medina. Kayla Meredith. Elsia Mesa. Kyle Milburn. Gordon Miller. Lindsay Mitchell. Christopher Mooney. DeCario Moore. Voa Matua Mustafa.
Christian Ortiz. Vanessa Perez. Hiroto Perry. Brianna Peterson. Alexis Pettit. Jonathan Pickens. Joshua Pinau. Ryan Pomerink. Cody Pritchard. Tyler Putt. Joshua Ranger. Jade Reed. Sean Reynolds. Christian Rigg. Jael Rodriguez. Alex Rojas.
Janicia Salas. Destiny Sharina Satterwhite. Zoe Schaefer. Colette Sharper. Keith Smith. Matthew Smith. Montana Smith. Zachary Smith. Darius Staples. Trevor Steers. Masayoshi Stewart.
Derek Taylor. Cedarian Thomas. Christina Thompson. Barbara Tobias. Anthony Torres. Anthony Trujillo. Jasmine Tuckett. Patience Turner. Maria Vaughn.
Joshua Ward. Rachel Witchens. Nicholas Wojtalewicz. Nicole Woodruff. Erica Youngdahl. Ashley Yount. Bradley Zayer. Tian Zuk Zhang.
Oshia Roberts. Stephanie Roldan. Victoria Godfrey. Roxanne Roman. Chanel Cassidy Barcinas. Aki Medhurst. Doris Daniels. Kiana Keynes.
The last group I would like to thank is our video crew who is videotaping, and this is on streaming on the internet. Thank you. Class of 2013, please rise. Okay. Excuse me. There is one last thing I have to do because this makes it all official. Okay? With the authority set forth by the Department of Defense Dependent Schools, I certify that you've met all graduation requirements. I now pronounce you graduates of Kadena High School. Congratulations, graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the Kadena High School class of 2013.